What is the meaning of the title, In the Arms of God?
In the Arms of God was basically just a metaphor. You know, it was something that I'd been thinking about a lot and had gone through my head a lot. And like arms of God, meaning nuclear arms, people being killed in the name of God. Mm-hmm. Arms of God meaning death, people dying, period, going to the arms of God, you know, heaven, or, you know, a place of solace.
Is there any political message in the album?
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's songs like Infinite War, you know, pretty obvious, you know. Stonebreaker was another song that I kind of had pointed towards, you know, politics and politicians in general. You know, Wicked on the Mountain I was kind of referring to about Capitol Hill.
You talk about Stonebreaker. I think it will be a classic C.O.C. track.
Right.
I mean, I suppose you will play it live.
Yeah, we're doing a video for it when I get back on Monday.
I feel a Pink Floyd vibe on the intro.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was just kind of a sucker punch, you know. I wanted to do some weird, trippy intro, and people go like, "Oh no," you know. And
I think it's good.
Yeah. I think it's a good. I think the record has a lot of cool vibes in it like that, and I really enjoyed doing that. I like making records, albums, you know, not just one-dimensional stuff. Adding lots of stuff to it, making it entertaining, you know.
There's also a new drummer on this album. Could you introduce him?
His name is Stanton Moore.
Yeah.
He's an old friend of mine from New Orleans. Plays in a band called Galactic.
Yeah.
That's the name of the band. He's just an old friend. He's a fantastic drummer. We had been pushing pretty hard on this record, and we really wanted somebody who could carry through and do something different. I didn't want the same old heavy metal, you know.
The songs seems to be jams a little bit. I think they're long.
I wanted to make a big record, you know.
Yeah.
And, we felt we were at that point, and at the time when we recorded the album, when we went in the studio, we had been rehearsing, and we were all pretty much at the top of our game. You know, we were all really playing well together, and so we went apeshit. You know.
How did it happen, the songwriting process? Did you write together, or?
A little bit of everything, man. I mean, whatever it took to get the songs done. Some of them were written together. Some of them we wrote with John Custer. You know, we were just playing together. But we, like I said, musically something was lined up, and we were all playing really well. And we were just going at it, you know. And the song was 8 minutes long. Stanton was going crazy. We just kept going, you know.
And it's your fifth album with C.O.C. Could we go back to each album? Give me your thoughts nowadays about each.
Yeah.
So, Blind?
A lot of people don't know this, but I broke my hip a week before we recorded Blind. I broke my hip and my femur bone at a Pantera show. And so I did that entire record from a wheelchair. I sang Vote with a Bullet from a wheelchair. I had a plate put in my leg with 30 staples and a metal plate in here. So it was pretty painful, but I did I had to play guitar with it on this leg. I couldn't even sit a guitar right there. It was fucked. It was torture. That was a good record though.
And Deliverance?
Deliverance was recorded on an independent label first. Yeah. We had already recorded the album on a little budget. And then Carl, the other singer, me and Woody and Reed were really working our asses off on this new album. We had written all this material. Carl, for lack of a better word, didn't come up and step up to the plate on the lyrics as much as we had done on the music. And we felt that strongly about that we were not going to go any further with Carl. He wasn't even going to sing. We were looking for singers. We had recorded all the music, and you know, all the little instrumental parts that we had, all the little quiet, mellow parts. We wrote those because we didn't have a singer, and we had already paid for studio time. So we started dicking off and wrote these things just to eat up the studio time while we were looking for singers. So we didn't find a singer, and then Mike Dean came back in the band. And we replaced all the bass parts with Mike Dean. The whole thing took on a new energy. I mean, it was very, you know. So Mike Dean came in, and Mike Dean's like, "Dude, you ought to sing." I was like, "Me?" You know. And because I had been showing people lyrics when they came to try out. He was like, "Why don't you just do it?" And the rest is history, you know.
Okay. And Wiseblood?
Wiseblood was basically an extension of the Deliverance thing. You know, we were on Columbia. We were, you know, pretty much on top of our game and really playing well together, and we went back and came back. Wiseblood to me was my favorite record before we did this last one. I always thought it had a cool vibe to it, and a lot of good songs on it. And Hetfield came and sang on it. It was just a good time.
I think it's his only album where he made a guest appearance.
Yeah, I know. It was very weird. He came in there. I was like, "Said, are you getting this on tape?" But yeah, it was very simple. It was not planned out. We were both in New York recording, and Hetfield came by the studio one day with a 6-pack of Coors Light beer, and heard some shit, and he goes, "Dude, got anything you want me to bark on?" I was like, "Well, as a matter of fact, we were working on that Man or Ash song, and it literally took about 45 minutes. But the part that he sang on was perfect for him, and we got very lucky on that. It was cool. We were both in the same room singing. I was like, this is. But we made a promise to not tell anybody. But everybody found out. But we didn't tell the record company. It was not in the artwork. It didn't say anything. So it was cool.
And about the American Volume Dealer?
America's Volume Dealer was our first record on Sanctuary. It was very ahead of the time. That was Darrell's favorite record. Yeah. He loved it. He loved, that was his favorite C.O.C. record. He talked about it all the fucking time. He was cool as shit. He'd call me up, Diablo Boulevard, man. I was going, that's one of my fond memories. He helped us out a lot on that album by pushing it, But yeah, we had Warren Haynes from the Allman Brothers play guitar on it. Lots of cool shit. And I think the record became a lot cooler a couple of years later. All these other bands cited it as a cool record, but it was just ahead of the curve,
Talking about Dimebag, I guess you have many funny stories to share.
Yeah.
Do you have one in particular that you want to share with my readers?
Well, man, he was just, he was a wonderful, wonderful guy. I've known Darrell a long time. We've had a lot of fun together. And even people who didn't know Darrell knew he was a cool guy. You know what I mean? It's a shame that he didn't get to finish what he started, because he was so, and not just as a musician, he mastered the guitar. It's no questions asked. That motherfucker could play guitar better and more furious than anybody I had ever seen, and it was an honor to have that, to know a guy like that, But he was a fucking raging drunk maniac too at the same time, and it was very strange because you could tell by the way he played guitar, he put the hours in, He wasn't no joke drunk, he was very serious about it. But he was a wonderful person. Yeah, that's tons of stories, man. God knows. It was one time I was at Darrell's house, and we'd been drinking all night long, and I had to fly to the next show from Dallas because I missed my bus. I got all drunk and wasted at Darrell's house and missed the bus, and I passed out at his house. And I woke up in the morning, he had a limousine for me, and he put a pair of sunglasses on me and shot my ass to the airport. I got to the airport, it was a pretty long flight, and I took my shoes off to go to sleep on the airplane, and Darrell, motherfucker, had taken my shoes off while I was sleeping, and with spray painted, duct taped my entire foot, and spray painted a Van Halen logo on my sock, and put my shoes back on, and tied them. So I get to the airport, and I take my socks off, and it says Van Halen on my socks, spray painted on it. It was just hilarious. I saved the socks. I still got them. It was very funny. Everybody at the plane was looking at my feet like, what in the fuck?